We were out there in the desert.
Charles Parrott was a 23-year-old Marine Corps corporal assigned to data processing. This Gulf War veteran was in the direct path when oil wells were set on fire.
And the black smoke from the oil wells started to pollute the air. We were literally in the path of that. It literally covered us.
Parrott returned home to Atlanta, Georgia in 1991, a young man with his life in front of him. But in the years that followed, his health fell apart.
I mean, there would be days where I'd be in so much pain, I would be curled up in a fetal position on my living room floor because the pain was just so intense. Living was almost not doable.
Whenever he would bring up a symptom that was consistent with fibromyalgia, he said that they would say, "Oh, that's interesting," and then just move on because there really wasn't anything that they could do about it.
To Dr. Anna Woodbury, Parrott's symptoms made perfect sense. As the vice chair of research in Emory anesthesiology at the Veterans Administration in Atlanta,
so this is still the
she's a trained anesthesiologist,
we're going to put those two ends together,
pain management physician,
so then we go over here,
and researcher
it didn't sample,
who studies chronic widespread pain syndromes.
My first experience with Dr. Woodbury was pretty much life-altering. She was the first doctor who, when I said what I'd been saying for 10 years, goes, "Yep, that's fibromyalgia."
I think there's enough research now to acknowledge that fibromyalgia is something real. It's not just chronic pain. It's chronic pain and neurocognitive symptoms, including fatigue, cognitive disturbances, difficulty sleeping, depression.
The syndrome was long thought to affect more women than men.
I talked to an older physician. Back in his training, it was thought of as middle-aged housewife syndrome. People who are clinicians didn't know what was going on. They couldn't explain it. They didn't have good treatments for it. So it was easier to just say, "Oh, well, it's all in your head." And now we see that it's actually in the brain.
Woodbury, a drug expert, wanted to find non-drug therapies that could help her patients. She did.
My goal is to try to offer them something that really treats their pain so that is not so risky, so that they're getting what they need for their pain control without having many of the physiologic side effects of dependence or potential abuse or overdose.
They supply a mild electrical shock through your body. For me, I use it to help me fall asleep.
Parrott uses an alpha stim device every day at home. It delivers electrical currents through clips placed on his ears.
It helps calm my mind to a point where I'm more relaxed and can fall asleep.
A lot of Dr. Woodbury's research focuses on neuromodulation, a non-invasive approach that delivers stimulation to parts of the nervous system that communicate with the brain and help alleviate symptoms.
This particular device is called alpha stim because the device delivers a alpha frequency stimulation. And alpha waves are the brain waves that your brain makes when you are in a light trance or when you're about to fall asleep. I like to tell people that this device is equivalent to inducing a meditation.
We had one Humvee for 38 Marines.
Gulf War syndrome, a cluster of often debilitating symptoms, has dramatic overlap with fibromyalgia, and they are often considered one and the same.
Gulf War syndrome is essentially fibromyalgia.
A VA study found that those deployed to the Gulf in 1990 to 1991 had an increased risk of fibromyalgia. In people with fibromyalgia, the sympathetic nervous system, which increases the fight-or-flight response, is overactivated. The parasympathetic nervous system, which serves as a brake on fight-or-flight and leads to a rest and relax response, can be activated by neuromodulation, calming the body and reducing symptoms.
There's something called the default mode network, and the default mode network is what areas of your brain are activated when you're not doing anything, and this is kind of your sense of self. And what happens in fibromyalgia is that the areas of the brain involved in the emotional and pain processing pathways, like the insula, they start lighting up at the same time as areas of the default mode network. So in a sense, pain has become part of your sense of self. So when we treat fibromyalgia effectively, we can actually see a decrease in connectivity between these areas of the brain that really shouldn't be talking to each other.
Dr. Woodbury's patients have an arsenal of neuromodulation devices to help them deal with the after effects of war. There is an IB stim device.
The IB stim device, I think, is mostly mediated through the effects on the vagus nerve.
IB stim works by sending electrical impulses that stimulate nerve pathways connected to pain relief.
We do these needles in a certain order.
There is battlefield acupuncture.
Battlefield acupuncture is essentially a series of points in the ear. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to train people to do. It's just 5 points. And they just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that.
As the name suggests, it was designed to be done on the battlefield to alleviate the wounds of war.
I served in the Air Force.
That's pretty good.
And there is RTMS, repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Roughly 3 minutes.
FDA approved for major depressive disorder, OCD, migraines, and smoking cessation. It uses electromagnetic signals, the magnet creating an electric impulse that goes deep into targeted areas of the brain.
Then I went to the Gulf War. We had a Army camp across from us. They would burn their waste or garbage for the day. So it was a lot of burning across from our camp.
Adrienne Jones Atkinson says RTMS has helped debilitating migraines.
I appreciate it because I'm not a person that likes to take pills.
Parrott's service to his country cost him, but he's reclaimed his health thanks to a researcher who believed him and who helped him.
I praise Dr. Woodbury every day of my life because without her, I don't know where I would have been.